I want to talk a little about seeking mastery and what that means and what that does. When I first approached Maître Crown and told him that I wanted to learn to teach, I wasn't really thinking about it beyond maybe teaching a couple kids classes. But his response to my suggestion that I wanted to teach was to treat me as if I was serious and wanted to master this. And I know that because within a couple days, I was invited to assist in a class, a college class. And I thought, sure, I can do that. And I went and I was cheerful and I didn't really do a whole lot during the class because I didn't know what I was doing. I think I assisted with taking attendance, which I got real good at. But after the class, when we got back, I got questioned about everything that happened in the class. Why did we do this? Why did we do it this way? Why did we take this choice? Why did we use this technique? Every detail about the class. And that was when I first realized that I might have gotten into something that involved more than I expected. The thing about commitment is you can't partly commit to something. You either commit to it or you don't. And I needed to figure out really fast which one of those I was going to do. So what I commit to every day is mastery of the sword. And that's not a small thing. What became apparent really quickly was good enough is good enough when you're doing something for fun. But when you're doing something to master it, good enough is never good enough. There's always more. There's always more you can do, always more you can learn, always a little bit better that you can get. And it requires constant, consistent effort to sustain that path. Which is great. That's what I wanted to do. So it's not a problem. But there's something about seeking mastery that I think people don't consider, and they need to. And that is, if you intend to seek mastery of anything, doesn't have to be this, could be anything, it will change you. It will change everything about you, down to the smallest part of the smallest cell in your body. It will change everything. It changes your relationship to the thing that you're mastering. It changes your relationship to yourself. It changes your relationship to the people in your life, to your partner, your lover, your friends, your kids, your enemies. It changes everything. And don't underestimate that. I think people do. It changes how you think. It changes how you respond to things. And in this particular case, because we're training for mastery of something that requires a level of awareness and a level of focus that is beyond what most anything else requires, that ability will become part of you in everything you do. So all those questions that I got asked, now I ask them of myself in everything. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I think, everything I feel. Is it real? Is it true? Is it there? Is it part of me? Is it what I want to do? Is it something I need to avoid? What does it affect? What does it change? All of that every day, constantly, every moment. So if you're thinking of committing to mastering the sword, think hard. Think hard about what level you want to commit to, because you can do this for fun and be good enough. or you could do this for real and work on it for the rest of your life. Just as in balance, to be fully balanced, you have to be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually balanced. To be committed, you also have to be physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually committed. So I had to look at each of those aspects. Is this physically something I could commit to? Is this emotionally something I could commit to? And I made the decision that it was a commitment that I wanted to make. But I didn't make this decision once. I made this decision every day for the next 25 years. Commitment is an ongoing commitment. It's not a one and done. Because if you make a commitment and that commitment falters and then you continue doing the thing without the commitment, sometimes you don't realize that you've done that. I think a lot of people fall into that trap. They want to do something for a while and then they end up doing it way past when they should have stopped because they didn't really evaluate it in an ongoing basis. I think that a lot of relationships have that happen. I think a lot of jobs have that happen, that people just keep going because it's what they're used to rather than what they really want to do. So I made it a practice to recommit before every lesson, before every class, before every training session of any kind, to be sure, because I wanted it to have not just commitment as an agreement, but I wanted it to have purpose, and I wanted it to have joy. And if it didn't have all of those things, I wanted to stop doing it. And so far, it still has all those things.